Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. All right. I am back. Sorry about that. Would like to apologize. Went to get something to eat. And of course, after I left and was waiting for my food, we got tornado warnings. But as far as I know, so far, no tornadoes have happened. But yeah, tornado warnings here in Kansas. This one over here near Little River does have a little bit of rotation on it, right in that region. Kind of in a weird spot of the storm, but it is lined up. It's kind of in the inflow, so it's kind of hard to tell whether or not that is legitimate rotation or not. But if you live in Langley, Marquette, Fallham, Brookville, and Carniero, you need to be going to your safe spots. And then back over to here, this storm has had a lot of hail contamination in it. Not sure how many of these rotations have actually been legitimate or not. It's just been kind of hard to tell looking at radar. I was checking it out on the way home. And so as far as I could tell, we've had a funnel apparently reported with this storm, but no tornadoes so far. Now, yeah, so a little bit of a tornado threat here earlier on, or not earlier on, but in an area that we didn't really expect it, to be honest. But it is what it is. Mother Nature, again, just kind of does what Mother Nature wants to do. And the best that I've been able to find out, this is the reason right here why these storms are trying to rotate. We have a little area of 3 Cape and vorticity pretty much right in this area. Again, really not a super tornadic environment. These storms are just barely trying to eke out a tornado here, and they might become successful. The shear in this area also, let me come over to that as well. Shear in this area is pretty decent, actually. We were talking about 50 knots of shear in and around these storms. Looking at our surface-based instability, this one to the south is actually in some decent instability. This one to the north is about to be launched out of that instability axis, and so this one will probably struggle here for a little bit, or after for pretty much from here on out. But this one further down to the south still has a little bit of time, and any storm that forms behind it will also have a little bit of time to tap into that shear environment. We do have storm chaser Tyler Kurtz, who is trying to make his way up close to this storm. Not sure if he's actually going to make it ever, but I think he is near El Dorado. So he might be targeting 1 or 2 of these storms over here. It's kind of hard to tell, but going to be keeping an eye on this storm and any storms that form behind it. That is going to be some of our main threats for tonight. Again, not the best tornadic environment. If any of these storms kind of exit out of our main core of instability, they are going to struggle to reorganize. Like this one right here is a great example of that. You can see right as it was in that instability and shear, it just barely tried to eke out a funnel and then is now moving out of our instability. You can see that rotation is getting a lot less organized, and this storm is getting a lot less organized in terms of its tornado threat. Could still have some decent sized hail in there, though, potentially 1 inch to 2 inch sized hail. We probably will see that severe thunderstorm warning get pushed off towards the north and east. But good news down here, at least for now, in Oklahoma, there is nothing going on. It appears not even a single raindrop is falling. Oh, okay. I take that back. There are some raindrops falling over here near Guyman. And also down here near Texas, all of those storms have fallen apart as well. So that part of the threat is not coming back anytime soon. It's just kind of a short-term threat here in Kansas that we are going to be monitoring on our second stream. April fooled us? I guess so. Yeah. That was Mother Nature's really crappy attempt at an April Fool's joke down here. So, yeah. Let me see if it's we got anybody in and around this area that I don't know of. No. Okay. Tyler Kurtz is our only. Well, there are traffic cameras in Salina as well. Let me go ahead and bring those up really quick. We will put that here. There. And then Salina. Perfect. Wow. Storm actually has a pretty decent bit of lightning on it. There is a tornado. There's a traffic cam near Ogden. Where? Ogden? Where's Ogden? Sorry. I ate my food really fast and now I'm getting some indigestion. Golf ball sized hail reported there. I missed that. Let me reread that. Get that back up. Yeah, golf ball sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds on the Clay, Gary, Kansas storm. That's going to be this one up here. So still some pretty decent sized hail in and around Wakefield. It's going to be heading towards Bala, Riley, Randolph, and Olsburg. Oh, there's Ogden. I see it. So yeah, if you guys live in this area, just make sure that you are indoors and away from windows. It seems like the tornado threat is considerably lower than it was earlier with this storm. So they will most likely let that tornado warning expire. And then we're still going to have this storm to track. Little area of rotation right there, still in the inflow of the storm. So still kind of uncertain on what the storm is doing near the surface. As you can see, we are in a little bit of a radar hole. So kind of hard to tell if that's, side lobe contamination or if that's legitimate rotation, just kind of a little bit displaced from where the mesocyclone is. But if you live in Fallen and Brookville, I think it's still worth being in your safe spots there. Let me go ahead and bring this down to here. That's not the right one. Which one did I put it on? It's right here. Apparently, there's a camera over here near Ogden that might have a view on this storm. Junction City, yeah. This is probably our better chance here near Salina to actually see if what this thing's gonna do. No problem. Sorry I wasn't here for the beginning of it. I just planned that absolutely poorly. I was looking at radar. I looked at it before I left. Everything looked okay. And I was like, I don't want any chicken again tonight. I'm just gonna use this time to get me a nice meal before tomorrow. Because tomorrow could be somewhat dangerous. So I was like, I'm just gonna go get some food. And now, now we got tornado warnings. Rice in the lung again? No rice in the lungs this time, just indigestion. Thursday looks worse than tomorrow. Well, I mean, you're talking about looking at a storm with models from that far out, right? So it might, tomorrow looked more dangerous yesterday and the day before. But look what happened, right? So gotta wait. I haven't really looked at Thursday, to be honest. Been too busy trying to keep track of this storm and then the one after this one. So maybe we'll talk about Thursday more tomorrow. All right, latest scan just came in over here near Kannapolis. Yeah, still in a weird spot. Like if this was in the mesocyclone, there'd be a tornado on the ground right now. And I still think we're dealing with some side lobe. Yeah, so here's our rotation as of 9:46. And you see that's in the inflow of the storm. Our mesocyclone would be back here. And there's just no rotation there. So I'm not sure if this is like a product of it being too far away from the radar or if we're dealing with an actual rotating storm here. So fortunately, because you do live in this radar hole here in Brookville and Fallon, unfortunately, you're going to have to take shelter and just stay there until the storm passes because we just don't really know what this thing is doing at the surface. Hello, hello, welcome to the stream. Hopefully everybody is doing all right this morning. Tonight, I know almost everybody that was tuning into this stream for the Oklahoma and the Texas threat are very happy right now, given the fact that their storms are non-existent. What do I think the cap? It was the capping inversion. It was supposed to have a little area where the capping conversion wasn't that strong. We were supposed to get, some relative humidity kind of build back into the area, and let me see if that ever happened. Yeah, that kind of happened for a brief moment, and it just kind of fell apart. Right around when that relative humidity showed up in the mid levels and near the surface, that's when those storms tried to fire. Kind of got dried up there. And that's a loft, and yeah, the cap was just stronger. There was supposed to be a little area within there where it was a little bit weaker, but the storms lost the battle, which happens. Other than these two storms, we also have a couple of other storms out there. We got one over here heading towards Fort Scott, Kansas. This one is heading kind of up to the north and east. It's currently warned for $half sized hail and some gusty winds. This one over here north of Grand Island is still ongoing. Another storm there with some ping pong ball sized hail behind it. We have 1-inch hail, both warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Those are moving off to the north and east towards Palmer and Cushing. If you guys live in this area, just be, taking it seriously. Be indoors and away from windows. Don't want to mess around with that storm. We also have a storm that's kind of gusting out here with 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. But as far as I could tell, we actually have some pretty intense winds along the leading edge of this, heading towards 30, Fremont, Hooper, and Nickerson. If you guys live in this area, I would just certainly, be indoors and away from windows. Those winds might be a little bit stronger than what's warned there. Come back over to our Kansas camera here near Salina. We are waiting for this storm to come through here. Fort Scott, Kansas. You guys do have a storm coming. We just called out your area, and for a reason. There is a severe thunderstorm coming your way. There's Fort Scott right there in Kansas. Here is our main storm over here near Uniontown, and this thing is warned for $half sized hail. Winds aren't going to be too strong. Let me see if this thing's going to actually approach you or could go to the north. Looks like it's going to go to the north of you, at least the worst part of it. In Howard, yeah. And that storm up there, it's not really tornadic or anything, but it has produced some decent sized hail and some pretty gusty winds. We've had 70-mile-per-hour wind warnings up there earlier today. And that probably knocked some power out. Wouldn't be surprised if it knocked over a couple of trees. Yeah, this storm is going outflow dominant pretty quickly here. You see that outflow picking up on our radar, which is almost perfect timing. This storm literally just left our axis of instability. So it totally makes sense that this thing would decide to gust out pretty much at this moment. Coming back down here to the south, let's go check back in on this storm. Yeah, still what appears to be some side lobe contamination here. Again, still in this weird spot of the storm is where that rotation is. Still radar indicated. Mesocyclone would be back in this area. And as you can see, our rotation is displaced from that meaning that we're dealing with still mainly side lobe contamination. That's pretty much been the whole deal with this storm since the beginning. But it was harder to tell earlier, which is why they threw that warning on. There did seem like some precipitation was wrapping around there or getting close to that couplet, but it kind of stayed away from it. Come back over to Salina. No, that's Tyler Kurtz. Tyler Kurtz is not, unfortunately, near these storms. We don't have any storm chasers that we work with that are near these storms right now. Yeah, John lives up in Nebraska. Is he down in Kansas? You're in the middle of the tornado warning and you're drinking and smoking. Well, if you have those habits, it's kind of the best time to do them. They it's you know, if that's what you fall on to calm your nerves, and might as well. You never know. Cap was cemented in place. Yeah, the cap was pretty potent. It was interesting. There was like this post going around saying that the cap was breaking, and then we had those soundings come out, and like the cap was still very much in place. I don't know where those soundings came from, but it was definitely not like an observed sounding. Misinformation like that right before a potentially dangerous storm is obviously annoying. Do you think the storm popping up southwest of Wichita will do anything? These guys, yeah, I mean, these guys will eventually try to form into a line of storms. Again, um, there is going to be a tornado risk with these storms throughout the night, potentially. Not with this one further up to the north, most likely, but really any of these storms that can still kind of hang out in the instability. Maybe could have a small tornado threat, but as of right now, our tornado threat with these storms is apparently still non-existent. Yeah, so we haven't really seen much change in that. None of these storms have produced a tornado, at least as far as we know. So, although they're tornado warned, they have not produced. But it's best to just continue to be in your safe spots, and just in case that changes. How's Nebraska looking? Nebraska has some storms out there. We got one over here near Fairbury, Diller, and Plymouth. That is for expiration sized hail. That's about to be expired. We got another one over here near Fremont and Hooper, near Scribner. That is going to be for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds there. Let's see. Let's put this in loop when we talk about them. Can a storm be tornado warned without a tornado? Well, side lobe contamination can fake people out, and hail contamination can as well. Yeah, I mean, we also have some storms over here near St. Paul, Danebrog, Cario, and also Timber Creek. Should be indoors and away from windows with that. That's again, I think we got a ping pong ball size hail with that one, and then quarter size hail with this one, both carrying the potential for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And for Iowa, your severe threat is about to start. Should mainly be some damaging winds and some hail. The northern threat. These guys, they shouldn't last for much longer, but it's a little bit of a short-term thing, so definitely worth keeping an eye on just for now. We come over here to our meso analysis. You can see this storm is going outflow dominant as it pushes into a lack of instability, but I'm still kind of wondering if it, because we do still have some pretty decent shear in this area. So even in like a low cape environment, I'm wondering if that's still going to be enough. Even though our environment's pretty capped out, we still might have a small threat for a tornado with these storms because of that wind shear. But it seems like these storms, at least as of right now, have a tendency to be you know, not super organized. Or contamination on that scan. Is mid Missouri out of the path of these storms? No, I mean these will be coming up into your area like near Kansas City, but they're going to be kind of hit or miss, you know, unless you live like over here in northwestern Missouri. These ones are going to be kind of isolated, so it's really hard to tell who exactly is going to get these guys. Thank God for Will Smith, the Cap. Yeah, the Cap did great. Cap did a great job today. Kept I mean, we could have had, I mean, a significant tornado outbreak down here if that cap didn't ruin those storms. They got real close, man. They got real close, but they just couldn't do it. That cap just hung on for just long enough. Kept those storms at bay. A lot of happy people down there in Oklahoma and Texas. Any tornadoes on the ground? Not at the moment, no. Not at the moment. We have, so this storm over here has some side lobe contamination. It actually doesn't look like side lobe contamination right now because our reflectivity is two scans or is a scan ahead of our velocity, but it'll all get back to where it was once the latest velocity scan comes in. But fallen should be still in their safe spots. I mean, if this storm tries to reorganize, you know, again, tornado threat isn't zero with these storms. So it's still worth, you know, keeping an eye on them. Let's come back and check in on our storm camera here, which is in Salina, where this storm is currently heading. You want to make sure I give this camera a refresh just to make sure it's not behind. Let me see what it's like in. What? That doesn't make any sense. Apparently, weather spotters have confirmed a tornado on this storm. They must have seen something. If you live in Fallen and Smolin, you need to be in your safe spots. That doesn't really make much sense, and according to the radar, but you know they have the ground truth. So if you live near Fallen and Smolin, you guys need to be in your safe spots. Again, we have a report here from Weather Spotter that this is currently on the ground, apparently. So yeah, this is confirmed on the ground, according to a weather spotter in the area. I'll try to find some confirmation of that. Oh wow, this is a PDS tornado warning? No. Okay, never mind. Wait, is it? Life-threatening situation. Seek shelter now. Doesn't that usually put on PDS tornado warnings? I guess not. And it doesn't say large and extremely dangerous tornado was on the ground. You might have messed up on the warning. I wonder if they pressed the wrong button. I don't know. That's weird. Because the type of warning is a PDS tornado warning, I'm pretty sure. But the wording does not line up with that. We got weather spotters confirmed tornado. So a little bit of confusion here, but As far as we know, the last report that we got on this storm is that it is on the ground. I don't know where that could be, given the fact that we cannot see anything on radar that would indicate a tornado on the ground. There's not even really a velocity couplet on this thing. But if you live in this area, just be in your safe spots. I mean, a spotter has seen something. It might not be a tornado, or it could be. So just be in your safe spots until we can figure out more information. I mean, they have the ground truth. PDS. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, this is a life-threatening situation. Seek shelter now. That's PDS tornado warning language. I thought. Maybe not. Maybe, I mean, every single time there's been a PDS tornado warning, there's been that on it. That's why I thought it was PDS for a second. Yeah, because like on a regular tornado warning, it's not on there. I don't know. Seven miles south of Brookville. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, on radar, there's nothing there. So I don't know. We just have to trust the storm spotter. Oh, my overlay on the bottom says it too. Interesting. So maybe it is a PDS. That's odd. Because usually when they say PDS tornado warning, they say large and extremely dangerous on the bottom here. But it doesn't say that. Has a very different and stronger looking rotation. What radar are they using? I don't know what's up with that. Let me check radar Omega. No, it's the same rotation. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's same rotation as weather-wise, so I don't know. A chaser has reported what must be a large and extremely dangerous tornado on the ground. So, seek shelter if you're in a house or, preferably get underground. If this is, just because the radar is not, unfortunately, being a very helpful resource in terms of determining where this tornado is at the moment, given the fact that there really isn't much strong rotation anywhere in the storm, doesn't mean you should let your guard down. A chaser has reported something that has caused so much concern in the NWS that they have issued a PDS tornado warning. So just be in your safe spots, preferably underground. And in fact, this is coming very close to our camera. Just realized we've got a camera like right in this bend of Salina. Maybe we'll see it here. Our radar up. We'll say it is odd, is all I'll say. You don't usually get a confirmed tornado on the ground, and they're just not be anything on radar indicating being able to confirm it. Is large and extremely dangerous tornadoes, they lift up a lot of debris, and it becomes very obvious very quickly on radar, and there's nothing. There's no tight couplet on the storm associated with any reflectivity. There's no debris signature. But a weather spotter has confirmed a large and extremely dangerous tornado. A new tornado warning has been issued for Salina. If you live in Salina, you need to be going into your safe spots. New Cambria as well. Again, we apparently have a large and extremely dangerous tornado on the ground with this storm. And you should be seeking shelter like it's there. I'm hoping that this is like a weather spotter that posts stuff on Twitter so we can get some sort of visual confirmation of this. We can see it here on this camera. Again, this rotation is pretty much coming directly towards this camera. Like where they said that the tornado is coming right towards this camera. Let me see if I can find anything on Twitter. Yeah, it's not using the wording large and extremely dangerous. Oh. They immediately dropped it. Yeah, something's telling me. Something doesn't smell right. That's all I'll say. But the bottom line is, in those situations, you got to go with the weather spotter report. But I will say, something doesn't smell right about that. Warning was all messed up. Spotter report really didn't make sense, and according to radar. I mean, I really hope there wasn't a PDS tornado warning or a PDS tornado on the ground. We had no way to confirm that as far as I could tell, but when it just comes down to it, when you lack information, you just got to trust the worst case scenario, which is a weather spotter reported a large and extremely dangerous tornado on the ground, and you can't do anything other than just seek shelter. So hopefully that wasn't a tornado. It's something that smells weird about that, but I'm not really sure. But if you're in this tornado warning, I'd be in your safe spots. I mean, if this thing really did just produce a large and extremely dangerous tornado, it could do it again. So if you live in Salina, New Cambria, you should be in your safe spots. Again, this camera is located right here. We're about to see this thing up close. So we'll be able to do what that storm spotter did as it comes close to Salina. So we got you covered here for at least until this goes into Salina. I can't control the camera, unfortunately. It's just a traffic cam. It's located right there. Again, there's a reason why we're looking at this camera south of Salina. We potentially just had a large tornado on the ground with this storm. And if it did it once, it can do it again. So just be in your safe spots until this storm passes, until we get more information. on the matter. And then once the tornado warning expires, you can come out of your safe spots. But until then, Salina, New Cambria needs to be in their safe spots. And make the radar just a tad bigger, just so it's easier to see for people that are on mobile. Yeah, it is a traffic cam, so they're going to be trying to look for traffic. And one of the things that I'm like really keeping an eye on here is if I see any power flashes. Latest scan has come in. Yeah, still some broader circulation here. Yeah, maybe a little bit of rotation. Still pretty broad, but there could be, some broad circulation here associated with our mesocyclone. Oh, let me refresh this. Got to stay on top of that. No, that's totally possible, Chris. Totally possible. It's also totally possible that it was someone thought they saw a tornado, but it wasn't. It's going to be either one of those. Typically, with PDS tornado warnings, they just keep that going. Longer than 5 minutes. They usually don't immediately downgrade it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't smell right, but you know, we just gotta report what's being reported on the ground and just. And as of right now, this is not being reported on the ground anymore. This is a radar indicated tornado warning. But again, if this thing does have that capability, we're not going to see it on radar. Because last time it happened, we didn't see anything to indicate where that tornado was other than where the spotter reported it. And so all we can use is hope that that spotter is still there. And if it tries to drop another one, that we can get the report to come in again and get another confirmation. And we also got this camera that is pretty much right in the path of our circulation here. Yeah, if you live in Salina, you need to be in your safe spots. Also, large hail is accompanying this storm, so you should probably just be in your safe spot regardless. But because you're in a tornado warning, you should definitely be in your safe spot. Let's check our latest scans here. Yeah. Again, this is just not lining up really well. There's your meso. Rotation is out over here. Says continue to be in your safe spots. This is pretty much just about to come into Salina Regional Airport and then Southern Salina here in Kansas. And after that, and again on our blue dot on our radar, that is where our camera is located. So we're gonna get it really up close and personal with this thing. If we see anything, we will definitely let you guys know. What I'm looking at right now when I look at this camera is I'm looking for those power flashes, which is going to come from the ground, not from the sky like what we've been seeing. That's lightning. But it's like it'll look like a little green orb emanating from the ground, like a purple orb. I just got another scan in here. And that's going to come right next to us. There's something in there. We should get a look at it. The latest scan just came in on velocities, not in the velocities, but we do have the latest correlation coefficient. And again, nothing indicating that there is a tornado on the ground, but that's what it said last time, right when we got that PDS tornado warning. So again, unfortunately, the radar, if this thing is dropping tornadoes, the radar is not very helpful. All right, Bill, I'm gonna keep an eye on that camera too. She could fast forward. Yeah. I don't know if you got that. If you got the power to fast forward and rewind in life, that would be abused. I feel be a really weird world to live in. Everybody could do that. And it's a pretty slow moving storm. I mean, this thing's been getting close for a while. The latest scan, we're probably about two to maybe I would say like 2 to 5 minutes before this thing is over our camera here. A little interesting thing here in our hail core. I don't know. This right here is inflow clearing. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully that's not on the ground. Oh, okay. They just upgraded this again. So this is back on the ground. And that's going to be going right into Salina. Let me read the information here. Weather spotters have confirmed yet another tornado. Firm tornado was located near Salina, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. That is, it's not, this one's not a PDS tornado warning. This is going to come right next to our camera if it's on the ground. So hopefully we'll be able to give you guys some information. I also got another camera up that's in downtown Salina. I am watching it. I'm not seeing any power flashes on it. I'm keeping a close eye on it. I can't show you this one. I mean, I might show you it if there is an obvious tornado near this camera, but we're just going to keep it on this one for now. Okay, heavy rain is moving in. Getting into where that circulation is. And keep your eyes peeled. There should be a tornado somewhere in here. Again, if you live in Salina, you need to be in your safe spots. And then also New Cambria, that's after that. Again, this is a confirmed tornado on the ground, and our camera is right next to this circulation. We'll see. We're already getting a lot of rain here. And our camera is located like right here. Keep my eyes peeled for those power flashes. I'm also watching this other camera, which is actually actively panning, looking at the storm. It's way in the background. I don't know where it is. We're looking for power flashes though, and indications of a tornado. I mean, it should be really close to this camera. Yeah, there's a sky view camera on KSNY or KSN sky view camera. If you guys want to follow along, it's here. No, I can't. I can't show this camera. It's a news camera, but I'll post it in chat. Watching it, and there's no power flashes yet. A lot of lightning still. Be in your safe spots. It's because we can't see it with our eyes. Doesn't mean it's not on the ground. It could just be heavily wrapped in some rain. And this is a weather spotter confirmed tornado on the ground, heading towards Salina. If you live in Salina, just be in your safe spots. Let me check radar, see if we can actually see something. Man, I mean, there's this. But that's not over rotation. This radar is not being very helpful at all. Thankfully, those weather spotters are out there. Okay, here comes the heaviest rain. We're like getting deeper into that rain embedded circulation here. I still haven't seen power flashes on any of our cameras. A lot of lightning. Velocity is passed. I don't know. Reposition our cameras to get back out in front of this thing. All right, we're back out in front of the storm. Camera, I'll put it on the radar. It's, over here. Not sure if we'll get close enough, so we'll come back over to the big radar until we get a little bit closer to that. But again, if you're just now tuning in, this is a tornado that's on the ground. Not exactly sure exactly where it's located. The warning itself says it was near Salina. Near Salina, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour, but that doesn't give us an exact location. And on radar, unfortunately, we cannot really understand. I mean, it could be this up here, but we don't know for 100% fact. I was watching a camera that was deep in Salina, and there was no power flashes. So a new tornado warning has been issued. They are extending it, and it is still confirmed. And now they're saying it's near New Cambria. Um, which is out over here. So must be like one of these two areas where it's at, because the weather spotters are still saying it's on the ground. So if you live in New Cambria, you need to be in your safe spots. Yeah, this actually will make a close approach to our camera again. Let me get that back up. What was it? This one, this one. Now we'll see. Grandparents live in Salina. You mind letting them know, or you mind letting us know if they have heard anything? Because we're trying to find out more information about this. I mean, I just had multiple camera views on this thing as it passed through Salina, and we weren't able to get any extra information. If you guys like live in that area and you're watching another news organization, and then just let them know, or let me know if the news is reporting any destruction. I'm pretty sure that little debris signature, quote unquote, we've been seeing, been in the wrong area the whole time. I'm pretty sure this is just hail. I could be wrong. I mean, it's getting reported as a tornado on the ground, but that's definitely not where the tornado was. So I'm thinking it must have been like right on the southern side here, if I had to guess. And now it's near New Cambria. No one knows if there's been any damage yet. All right, let me oh, I know what can help us. Let me get up the Broadcastify, see if we got any feeds in the area. We'll get the what county is this? It's like just north of Wichita. This McPherson County. Maybe we'll get more information from this. And so far, nothing. Seems pretty quiet on their end. If we have a tornado, it's going to be located right in this area here. Again, there's just not a whole lot of rotation there. So I'm just purely going off of this storm spotters report. The radar doesn't really make sense. No sirens, but hail. Okay. Yeah, just keep those reports coming in. Because there's a lot of stuff that's just not really making much sense. The more information we can get, the better, I think. Apparently, there's a tornado in Idaho today. The heck? That's kind of crazy. And a tornado report in Idaho. Pearson is very windy right now. Okay. Any chance this is some rogue storm spotter sending false reports? I hope not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, all I can say to that is we don't know, and we just got to trust them. I mean, that's just the bottom line. I mean, there is a 100% chance that if he wasn't out there, this wouldn't be observed. So, you know, just based off of radar. So, you know, you got to think that they're seeing something because they've been reporting it on the ground for like 20 minutes now. So I don't know. It could be just, it might look like a tornado and it might just be a hail core. You know, it could be a real tornado. You know, we just don't know. We don't know. You know, we've had this happen before where we get a reported storm chaser tornado and then there's just not anything on radar to indicate that. And then it just turns out that nothing ever happened. So that does happen sometimes. It's not out of the question, but in the moment of it, the best thing to do is just to respect the report and be in your safe spot. That's just the best thing you can do till we find out more information, till this tornado warning is expired. Just be in your safe spots there in New Cambria. Its rotation is going over you. It's about to come close to this camera that we're watching right now. So hopefully we can get visual on this thing with this camera, because we didn't get any visual on it with the other one. So maybe we'll get it from this camera. Yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry. It's just the bottom line. That's exactly right. You know, like, yeah, we got radar, but that storm chaser has eyes, which, you know, most of the time is better than a radar, but sometimes they get it wrong. But it's a weather spotter, so they should know what a tornado looks like. Yeah, it's still reported to be on the ground. Yeah. And it's going heading towards New Cambria. And now it's actually just got updated to back to radar indicated. And again, we're listening to the radio in this county, and there's like nothing going on in the radio, which is usually not the case when you just had a tornado come through a populated region. Like, it's been going on this whole time, and there's been like nobody, like no police officers, no firemen saying anything about damage or calls for injuries. That's all I know. Is there this is McPherson County, right? Just making sure. Yeah, it is. No, this might be north of there. Is this Salina County? I've been listening to the wrong county. Okay. Now we're listening to the right county. All right, so take back everything you said. Okay, there's a little bit more chatter on this one. Maybe something. Yeah, take everything back I just said about the chatter on the radio. I was listening to the wrong county. Not familiar with this area. Again, if you live in New Cambria, still continue to be in your safe spots. Winds are picking up here near our camera, which is located right here, right next to our area of interest. So we should get some new indication here of what's going on. Hopefully, we can confirm something with our eyes. But as of right now, it is not on the ground anymore. It's a radar indicated rotation. But if this thing's produced multiple times, it could do it again. So if you live in, off of Route 18, off of Highway 17 near Abilene, north of Abilene, you need to be in your safe spots. And the camera is shaking. That indicates that our winds are getting a little bit stronger here. Yeah, take that back. This radio feed is also pretty darn quiet. Like when you get a tornado go through a populated area, like a area like Salina or Salina, like it's just constant. It's constant. Oh yeah, we have damage here, or well, we just got a call from a report here. It's just like it's just constant. Oh, we got trees down, houses damaged. I'm not hearing anything. It's live, so you guys can hear it too when they speak. They haven't spoken. Or they said one thing, but it wasn't related to anything about the storm, or at least not related to like any like damage or anything. Make sure I keep pressing that refresh button. It hits the lineup. Doesn't sound like it. Um, Best of my ability, we should be hearing something here on the scanner. There's nothing. So we'll keep listening. I mean, if something hit, we'll hear about it soon. They might just be taking them. I don't know. There should be reports coming in like left and right. I don't think it hit Salina. If it was on the ground, it must have been like away from Salina. Yeah. Well, it's not reported to be on the ground anymore, but it is still a storm that has a history of producing tornadoes, according to spotters on the ground. So, if you're in the path of this, be in your safe spots. Listen to like all of them. The police scanner, the county fire, and the police county fire and EMS scanners up. One's just all of them, and then the rest are just separated just in case. But refreshed. I mean, this thing should be making a really close approach to our camera now. So we'll check the radar, see if we're seeing anything new. That right there. Yeah, see, that area of rotation is still in the inflow of the storm. Out over here now. So I don't know. Just continue to be in your safe spots out here. That's the best way. That's the best way to say it. Hello, welcome. Somebody's got another update. Still radar indicated. See if it lines up better now. There you have the latest scans in. And now it's lining up. We might actually have a mesocyclone with this thing. I mean, this thing is right next to the camera. Our camera's like right here. Yeah, if anybody's in Salina and you hear anything in terms of like damage or anything from like neighbors or friends, let us know in the chat. We're just trying to figure out more information on this. And if you're able to report that information, we are all happy that you're okay. Everybody put hearts in the chat for everybody that's in Salina that's watching this. Apparently, a landfill might have been hit, according to someone from the area. Next in line for this area of rotation, which appears to be lining up on radar a little bit better, is going to be over here near actually, just go to big screen. Going to be near Tamage and Solomon. Still need to be in their safe spots here. Just be in your safe spots. This thing might have produced multiple tornadoes already, so just be in your safe spots. We'll produce another one. Just wait. Wait until it's all done. I am wondering if they're using like a different channel there. I mean, if a tornado went through the Salina area, and it would be going like crazy. But maybe they're using a different channel, like a different broadcasting frequency. Let's go back over to our camera. Circulation is still very close to our camera, but I mean, I'm still not seeing anything out there. Still a decent area of rotation there, just to the north or north and west of Solomon, which definitely lines up on the radar a lot better than it has this entire time. Right in there. That is probably the most definite velocity signature that we have seen on radar this far. So continue to be in your safe spots. Storm still appears to be dangerous. It's heading towards Route 18, to Malj and Solomon. Ping pong ball sized hail. Let me see where that was reported at. And Potawatomi, Kansas. That's probably saying that wrong. Has been a bit odd. It is a bit odd. I mean, there's no if, ands, or buts about that. I am curious to see what actually have happened here. We will definitely have more information tomorrow as it becomes daylight. It's just a mess over here with this storm. Side lobe contamination city over there. My goodness. Let me see what this radar says. And this radar also, well, see, from this radar, it's saying that rotation is in the inflow. Jeez Louise. Which one's closer? Let me see which one of these are closer. Oh, this one's actually closer. Okay. We'll switch to this radar now. But yeah, it's saying this rotation is actually over here in this inflow there. So still technically not really lining up that well, but yeah, Salina's safe now from this storm. Yeah. You guys can come out of your safe spots. Tornado warning is done. Yes, that's a supercell we're looking at the camera. Yeah. Yeah. So our camera for reference is right here. So, I mean, it's right next to that area of rotation, but can't see anything from it. Do you want to see if we have another one further down the line? Yeah, we do have one like north of Abilene or near Abilene, Kansas as well. I guess we could technically keep an eye on it. Let me see if there's any like facing west. This one's facing west southwest, but unfortunately does not have a good view of the sky. This is the closest camera to the rotation and not really giving us much info because it's dark time or nighttime. Really dark outside. This thing's probably wrapped in rain. But let me get the Abilene camera up since it'll be past this camera that we're looking at here soon, and we'll just keep an eye on it. Comes down to odds of a touchdown. Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, you guys get this stuff all the time, for sure. I mean, There is every tornado warning has a different flavor to it. Some are, looking extremely concerning. Some are a little bit confusing, like this one, where the rotation is out up here when you have what appears to be your mesocyclone further down to the south, indicating what could be side lobe contamination. But overall, if it's not, that could be a dangerous area of circulation. So if you're over there off of 18, north of 70, just continue to be seeking shelter. But New Cambria can come out of their safe spots. Also in and along 70 and Niles as well can come out of their safe spots too. Thank you, Bill, for the 20. Thank you so much. Okay, Bill also reporting no uptick in power outages. That probably won't happen for a while, but yeah, Bill and I were watching another camera in the area when it came through Salina, and that camera was like, it was like one of those tower cams. It was just panning back and forth. And there was no power flashes. Man, it really looks like this thing is wrapping up, man. At least on radar, I mean, inflow right in there. Yeah, I wonder if there is a little sneaky meso back in this region here. Could also be hail getting flung outside of that meso as well. But this storm does have a lot of hail. Does anybody else having issues with lagging? It's possible. I still didn't plug in my Wi-Fi directly in Sedgwick County. Let me see where that is. No idea where Sedgwick County is. I just went through like every county in Kansas. Oh, there it is, near Wichita. I wouldn't say like in the clear. I mean, there still is a chance that storms fire in and along this region here kind of make its way in and through the Wichita area. So I wouldn't let your guard down for severe weather just yet. What about Kansas City? Kansas City definitely is not in the clear. You guys have this big old line of storms coming. Yeah, still waiting on the latest velocities to come in here. Come back over to our Abilene cam really quick, see if we can see anything. Storm is definitely pretty active in terms of lightning. I mean, there's been almost nonstop lightning with this storm. That's all we've been able to tell. Let me see if Tyler Kurtz has like rerouted near the storm. He's getting up there. He's near McPherson. So we should be able to get eyes on this eventually. Where's McPherson? Yeah, he's south of this. I don't think he's gonna be able to catch up to this specific tornado warning, but he's definitely gonna be able to catch up with the storms that are behind this thing. So it'll be worth keeping an eye on his stream for sure. Yeah, we'll be going through Topeka, yes. And is pretty much a certainty at this point. We'll bring up Tyler here. Tyler's just gonna be honestly more helpful than that camera at this point. Sent info about the tornado in Idaho earlier. Okay. Public photo and report submitted to the KIFI local news indicates a small tornado touchdown northwest of the St. Anthony Sand Dunes in Idaho. We've had tornadoes pretty much everywhere today where we didn't expect them, which happens sometimes. Doesn't happen that often, but it happens. Yeah, latest scan still seems to be some broader circulation in this area. Still in the wrong spot of the storm, though. But yeah, just in case there's like a little hidden mezzo here, just with low precipitation, which doesn't seem likely given how much precipitation we have. But just in case, I would still be in your safe spots. As of right now, this is not a confirmed tornado on the ground anymore. This is a tornado warned storm. But it's still worth being in your safe spots for. It's bottom line. Just wait until we get more information on the storm, and then once we get that, then we'll be able to tell people to get out of their safe spots eventually. Where's the storm chaser? He's back down here, just past McPherson, heading up towards Salina. He's trying to catch up. Don't think he'll be able to catch up to this storm, but he will definitely be able to catch up to this line. If anything else happens further to the south, he will definitely be letting us know. Graham Williams Salina said it jumped multiple times. With the tornado? The tornado in Idaho was probably a land spout. Interesting. That kind of makes sense. That would make more sense than like a, like a supercellular tornado. And this is this right here. This is Storm Chaser Tyler Kurtz. As you can see on the bottom right, he is just north of McPherson. His location does lag behind a little bit on Radar Omega, the app that he's using. On his location thing on his dashboard, it says he's near Lindsborg, which is a little bit further north than McPherson. That one's usually pretty darn close to where he's actually at. Is looking like a QLCS event. Could be. Could be. One of the things that we're going to be monitoring, at least in the environment with these storms. A new tornado warning has been issued. Radar indicated 1.5-inch hail. That is going to be for Buckeye industry there. Again, right here. That is the reason why it's warned. Still in a weird spot of the storm, don't get me wrong. Still in the inflow, but again, there is some precipitation starting to wrap around that area, so that very well could be a legitimate area of some decently strong rotation there. Moving up to the north and east, about to pass just north of Buckeye. The rotation itself is located just to the north and west of Talmadge. Yeah, I mean, this entire storm has got severe thunderstorms on it. Up here to the north, over here near Westmoreland, heading towards Orunaga and Wetmore. You can see we have an outflow dominant line here, or an outflow dominant storm here, producing 70-mile-per-hour winds, 1.5-inch hail. And so if you live in Onaga and Wetmore, I would certainly be indoors and well away from those windows, as those winds are definitely going to be enough to knock out power there. Further down to the south, we have some storms going through Great Bend, Kansas right now. Those storms are packing, what does that say? Oh, ping pong ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds there. And further down to the south near Larned, moving off to the east, 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds there as well. So Continue to shelter in place if you're out in front of this line. This line will eventually move off towards the east, towards Hutchinson, McPherson, Salina again, Abilene, Junction City, Manhattan, St. Mary's are kind of next in the immediate path of the storm. There it is. His spotter dot just updated. He's about to drive through Salina, so if there's any damage, we should be able to see it as he drives through. Hopefully we can confirm something here. I mean, I still, by the way, I didn't take off that Broadcastify scanner. It's still up. Oh, speaking. Oh, thanks. That hurts the ears. They're talking about that tornado warning that was just issued. Let's send that down.
On ball-size hail. Radar does indicate rotation. Includes the cities of Manchester and Thomas. 800 completed. All units acknowledged.
Storm Chaser, this is Tyler Kurtz. As you see off in the distance, we're starting to see some lightning. He's approaching Salina right now, and hopefully we can get some details on what just happened here as he goes through the area. All right, latest scan still appears to have rotation there, still kind of in the wrong spot of the storm, but south and east of Manchester would still be in your safe spots. Golf ball sized hail warning has just been issued for Pawnee and Stafford, Kansas. That is big enough hail to cause some damage there. Some cracks in the windows and definitely some dents in the cars, and definitely your pets will not like that. So if you're out in front of those storms and you don't hear lightning super close, but definitely make an effort to get at least your pet indoors. Hey, thank you, Ben, for becoming an EF3 member. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Fry family. Your monthly support will help us pay our bills and storm chasers like the one that's out there right now, Tyler Kurtz, who's been chasing all day. He started off in Oklahoma, and now he's near Salina. Yes, Topeka, Kansas will get some of these storms, yes. Your storms are... so here's the storms back over here. Well... not going to lie, this frontal boundary is stalling. I just noticed that. Check the latest HRRR. I don't think that's supposed to be happening. Thank you, Jeff, for the $4.99. What can I look on radar to determine where there's rotation? Can I show or explain? Absolutely. We'll do that in just a moment. Just want to see if this showed up on the HRRR. Kind of does. Yeah, it does. Okay. And the newest HRRR is picking that up, but I don't think this was supposed to happen. I think it was supposed to be a little bit more progressive. And it's the boundary's kind of stalled here, and it's actually moving to the north. But yeah, Topeka's storms in that case would be back down in here. Not any of the storms that look like they're close to you. And it's not really training over the same area. Like Ellisworth, though, is kind of getting trained over right now by these storms. It definitely caused some major flooding issues, and that continues for much longer. But it does seem like it's moving a little bit to the north. Let's go check in on the latest here with our tornado warned storm. Yeah, still a little area of rotation here and still in the inflow. That hasn't changed. I wonder what's causing that signal. I wish I had a storm chaser like right here so I could see if there's like an actual mesocyclone there or not, because that's just not where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be down here. But as you can see, it's north of there. Just continue to be in your safe spots. Again, might just have a very low precipitation mesocyclone with this sitting in the inflow of the storm. There's no way to like confirm or deny that without like an actual storm chaser's eyes on it. So it's definitely best to continue to stay in your safe spots. Firm tornado on the ground? No. Radar indicated rotation right now. No chaser there. Well, we have a chaser trying to catch up to the storm. Not sure if he'll be able to or not. You see, there's that on the bottom right of your screen. You can see there's Abilene. That tornado warning is to the north, and there, that blue dot on the bottom right is the storm chaser. He's just now entering into Salina. Thank you, Jet, again for another donation, another 5. Hillard, Ohio. What can you expect for tomorrow as far as storms? Damaging winds is your main threat. Can't rule out the chance for some tornadoes there. Let me see if we've gotten an update on our SPC outlook. It really just depends on like where in Ohio you live. Like stronger tornadoes could be possible in like western Ohio, but that possibility kind of drops off as you move into central Ohio. If you live more in eastern Ohio, then very low chance for tornadoes. But to answer your previous question, so when you're looking for a rotation, what you're looking for is reds touching the greens underneath reflectivity, right? So this one right now is located outside of the reflectivity in the inflow, the center of where they're touching, right? And also the reds are a little bit on the weak side. When they're in these grays, that it usually indicates some broader circulation. There could be a little bit of a tighter circulation here, but just on the weaker side of things. But again, all of that is in the inflow of the storm. Our area where you would typically think the mesocyclone would be right here in this region where we are not seeing one speck of rotation there. So it's a confusing storm, definitely giving off some weird signals here. We've had, for a while, this storm was near Salina. We had a storm chaser out there. Oh, also Barton, $50 sized hail, watch out. But near Salina, we had a storm chaser that was reporting tornadoes were on the ground, and we couldn't even confirm it with radar, like at all. Where's the POV from the storm chaser? Right here. See, there's lightning in the distance. Looks like you might be trying to get onto 79, or 70, Highway 70 right now. Oops. Yeah, I think he's getting on Highway 70, so I think he's going to try to catch this thing. The photo. Okay, it looks like we might have a photo of the tornado near Salina. Unfortunately, can't confirm whether or not that is a tornado. It kind of looks like one. Let's see if I can show it. I think I can. And it kind of looks like something's there. There might have been a tornado in Salina. But unfortunately, on the bottom half of it, there's trees blocking it. So I'm not sure. Still not completely positive. I don't know. I can see what is. Yeah, I can see what it is. Yeah, I can see the top half of it. But I mean, that could be scud. That could be a wall cloud. Like there's nothing, like there's trees and a building in the way, so I can't confirm that 100%. All right. So got radar indicated rotation on this. There's your area of rotation. Potentially some precipitation wrapping around, which will either completely kill off that couplet because it's not really there, or it will stay while the precipitation wraps around. If it does, then that means we definitely have a 100% mesocyclone on radar. And again, that's heading right towards industry. Industry, Kansas should be continuing to be in their safe spots here. Oh, it is suspicious. Oh, for sure. No, I agree. It is very suspicious. That could be a tornado. I just can't say for sure. That's the thing. Fortunately, there is a tree and a building in the way. I can only see half of it. Let me do a quick search on Twitter. Maybe I can find another photo. Just found an interesting photo. I think I can show it because, but it's like someone else's stream, but it's a stream looking at a traffic camera. I'm trying to isolate the photo. Hold on. Of just the traffic camera. And also get more information on where that is. When was that? Oh, it was when it was PDS warned. There we go. All right. So here's a photo. Kind of looks tornado-y. But again, I cannot say for certain if that is on the ground. Thank you, Jeff, for the 2. I do appreciate that. Cartoon bot? What is a what do you mean cartoon bot? Look at Cake News. Okay. Like on Twitter. I mean, that's definitely what was reported. I'll tell you guys that right now. That's what was reported as a tornado right there. What we just looked at. Okay, okay. This is lining up. Let me just make sure. Oh no, the velocities are 2 minutes behind. Still in the inflow. This I can tell you right now. This was 100% what the spotter saw and reported it. Was on Facebook. Oh, the y'all bot. What is it, making jokes during a tornado? It is an AI. So the AIs have zero empathy. Can you hear the scanner? Yeah, I can turn it back on. And that's Tyler Kurtz. He's still trying to catch up to the storm. He's going to try to get close to it. We'll see if we can see anything. On X, there's a photo of the tornado looking thing in the reports. Okay. There is something on X. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we already looked at that photo. Yeah, the problem with the cake news photo is that like there's a tree and a building in front of it. Like, I think we can all agree that the top half of that certainly looks like it could be a tornado. So that totally could be one. But like, can I confirm 100% without video and without by seeing the bottom of it? No, I cannot. It certainly looks like it could be one. That could be it, for sure. Oh, it's a terrible idea. I agree. Anything AI is just never a good idea. I agree on that one. This is like curing cancer. If it can actually end up doing that, that'd be pretty cool. As of right now, the only photo circulating of the possible tornado is that one from Cake News. And I know it's KAKE, but we're just going to call it Cake News for time saving measures. Okay, latest scan, our area of potential rotation seems to be getting weaker. And they are extending this as a severe thunderstorm warning now for 1.25-inch hail. Going to be any tornadoes tonight for Topeka? It's possible. Ooh. The storm's trying to latch onto this outflow boundary out here. They can successfully do that. That could wrap up. You have to keep an eye on that. They're near Holton. But yeah, Topeka storms are going to come a lot later than you would think. Most likely come from these storms down here. You can see our line right now. If we look at like near you, you would think this would come towards you, but it's not. It's kind of stalled right now. Maybe moving a little bit to the north, which is good technically because that should create an outflow boundary that lowers the tornado risk. Bad thing about it, though, is that it could cause some major flooding issues, which we are already starting to see. There's flood advisory on some of these storms right now. So it's a double-edged sword for sure. Joplin is going to be way, way later. Actually, just into tomorrow. Let me check the latest HRRR for Joplin. I think these ones go north of you. Oh, no. Eventually, yeah. Eventually, so your main threat, and let me bring you over here. Your main threat is not really necessarily going to be from the line itself, but from some storms that could fire potentially at around 3 a.m. Here near the Oklahoma City area. And those will bring some rain and up into Joplin. It's interesting. My first time really looking at the 0Z. And it's a big haul. Going on. And that's just a super messy storm mode. Maybe some dangerous storms there in northern Mississippi. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how tomorrow plays out. I mean, we're gonna have a lot of storms along a line. It really doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of forcing down here. It'll be interesting to see. I'm pretty unconfident about tomorrow, I'll be honest. And our tornado warning has expired, folks. Everybody can come out of their safe spots. That is awesome. An estimated stream time tomorrow? I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what my plans are going to be for tomorrow. It just really depends on how late this threat goes. Yeah, this thing's trying to wrap onto that boundary now. There's actually a little area of rotation developing in it too. You know, when storms latch on to outflow boundaries, that's never a good sign. I mean, this thing is really not in that great of instability, but you see, as soon as it reached, here, I'll show you and play it. As soon as it reached out and touched that boundary, immediately a hook formed. Along these outflow boundaries, there's increased vorticity. Sure, if this is going to lead to anything, but at least in the short term, it's worth watching to see if that continues to wrap up. Can I play Fortnite? No. I am 31 years old. Oh, man. Oh, man. I thought of like a really funny thing to say, but I can't say it. Not gonna say it. It's totally inappropriate. My brain went somewhere immediately. That was hilarious, but not PG. Chances for a tornado to drop in Horton, Kansas. Where's Horton? I am human. Well, Horton's up there, pretty much just on the right side of here. I wouldn't say it's super elevated. This storm, that one thing this storm doesn't have is instability. So it should struggle to latch on, which it does appear like it is, but it did try to latch on there briefly, and it did try to rotate. So maybe we can't rule this storm out completely. I wouldn't say zero, but I wouldn't say anything over like a 5% chance. Why do these storms and tornadoes always seem to happen more at night? As you go into the nighttime hours, or I'll show you. As you go into the nighttime hours, one of the things that usually always happens is the environment becomes a little bit more capped out. But what also happens is you get stronger shear during the night. And that is just due to the differential heating changing as you go into the cooler portions of the night. And yeah, I mean, earlier today, during the day, we had about 40 knots of shear out there. Before this, it was about 30 knots. And then as we moved into the night, although some of our storm kinematics is what they call it, or the environment where our storms are, some of those parts of the environment are not as favorable as it was earlier. And some of them are way more favorable, like our wind shear. I mean, we got 60 knots of shear out there, 55 knots of shear, pretty much widespread on the northeastern corner of this storm. So although there's not a whole lot of instability where those storms are at the moment, there still is a chance for some brief spin-ups. And the thing that should most likely happen, though, given the slow progression of this line of storms, is that a lot of rain-cooled air is going to start to pool along the leading edge of this storm. And we should start to see these outflow boundaries, and we're already starting to see them almost on every embedded supercell. There's one here. There's an outflow boundary here, an outflow boundary here. That's just rain-cooled air. These storms want to eat warm non-rain cooled air. And as long as that outflow boundary is in front of the mesocyclone of the storm, it will greatly diminish its chances for a tornado. Question is, and will be, whether or not these storms hang on. That is the question. How's Tulsa Metro looking around? Oops, wrong scene. How's Tulsa Metro looking around 5 a.m.? Tulsa. Really just depends, man. The HRRR was dead wrong about the storms earlier today. So let me check to see what our environment is looking like further down into to check out the legitimacy of like maybe a resurgence of a severe threat, because the HRRR is indicating that some storms should fire. So let's go check first on our upper levels here. There's a little bit of divergence there. Does that increase? How do I see if that can increase? There it is. Divergence and vorticity. I mean, the HRRR is onto something. You see that red, those red squigglies that get pretty concentrated down in there. I think that's the cold front sinking down there. And there's a lot of divergence out in front of that. So there could be a little bit of a severe threat. I don't think the tornado threat is going to be too elevated given how close it's going to be to the cold front proximity, but that's going to be in about 6 hours. And then eventually that should make it. So I would give it like another 2 to 4 hours after that, and that should be in Tulsa. Yeah, you can see that it's even firing storms out there. Let me check the latest HRRR, like not the 18Z, but the most latest hourly run. Is this not loading? We'll try to get this to load. There we go. Yeah, it does fire. Okay, before it was just a cluster of storms, and now the HRRR is trying to fire supercells near Oklahoma City again. I swear these cams just love doing that. I hate to say it. But I mean, there's a lot of capping in there though. Storms might struggle, but man, if those can mature, oops, let me switch scenes. If those can mature here near the Oklahoma City area and Norman, that's going to be a problem. And that's going to be at around 4 a.m. Man, these storms, let me see if they make it up at the Tulsa. No, they die before Tulsa. Well, one kind of comes close. If that fires maybe a little bit later than forecasted, that could come pretty close to Tulsa by 5 a.m. Yeah, these could be tornado threat over there near Joplin and Springfield as well, if those can mature. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Our uncertainty on the models are just crazy, man. It's actually been like super frustrating as a forecaster. But, you just got to roll with it, report it. I will say tomorrow, this morning, it is uncertain. But I mean, again, if those storms fire, I would have an alarm set up at 3 a.m. if you live in Oklahoma City, and at 4 a.m. if you live in Tulsa, and just wake up, check your local news. If there's anything going on, act accordingly. The bust today means that the capping is a little bit stronger than what was forecasted. And yeah, I mean, that could have some implications down the line. Now, to be fair, some models have more capping and some didn't. And some of those models still convect the next day. So it's not going to really have that big of an effect. Oh, okay. I think Tyler's getting gas. Can't find any news on Salina. All I'm seeing is photos right now of what could potentially be a tornado. But I am not seeing any confirmation, like a photo that's like, okay, yeah, that was a tornado. And I'm not seeing any reports of damage or anything out of the area. Kansas City. Let me check Kansas City. Yeah, Kansas City is going to be a while. Again, although it looks like these storms are coming right at you, they're kind of stalled right now. So it's going to take them a little while to get to Kansas City. Yeah, it probably won't be until about 6 a.m. See where our version is at this moment. Not too much there. See where our instability is. A little bit there. I mean, yeah, I mean, you can make the argument that, if these storms aren't outflow dominant by the time they come in there, they could carry us, a little bit of a tornado threat at 6 a.m. And I mean, overall, the best thing that I can tell you guys right now is, if you live over here near like Hayes, Russell, Lincoln, Ulysses, Colby, Norton, you're probably not going to see nothing. But if you live over anywhere near Pratt, Hutchinson, Wichita, Emporia, Osage City, Topeka, Junction City, Alma, Holton, Leavenworth, Garrett, Burlington, Eureka, El Dorado, Marion, you're probably going to see something in terms of severe weather, maybe even a tornado risk. And it really just depends on how outflow dominant these storms are or become, which they are becoming pretty outflow dominant. If they are purely outflow dominant, there will be a near zero tornado threat. But if any of these storms can kind of surge out in front of that cooler air, kind of like what this guy's doing, actually. Oh. Okay, that's in the inflow of the storm, but they will certainly throw a warning on that since they threw a warning on the other ones. Oops. But yeah, I mean, if any storms can surge out in front of that outflow boundary, that'll be the tornado risk. So it's not zero chance. You tagged me in something. I'm not seeing it. All right, Samuel. All right, see you later, Jared. Oh wow, an actual photo. Okay, this is the best photo, and that looks like a tornado. It was southwest of Salina. Just posted it in chat. I mean, that's about as close as you can get in the nighttime to confirming a tornado. So that was probably a tornado. It was a large tornado for sure. Dang, Tornado Explorer, how'd you beat me to that? It's only been out for 55 seconds. If that ends up not being a tornado, that is the scariest looking cloud to have ever existed. But that sure as heck looks like a large and extremely dangerous tornado. So thank you, Chronic Ninja, for a $5 donation. I do appreciate that. How bad do I think it'll be in Humboldt, Tennessee? Man, tomorrow is so conditional, man. I think regardless, here, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. I mean, there is a pretty glaring failure mode for tomorrow, and that is storm mode. But even with the messy storm mode, I still believe that, strong tornadoes will be possible. But let me show you. So this is the most recent HRRR run that has, let me get Humboldt up too so you can see it on the map. Brown and Jackson, Kansas. 1-inch hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds with that storm. Yeah, seeking shelter from that. That could cause some power lines and trees to come down. All right. So yeah, Humboldt is over here near Jackson. Now watch this. As I push this forward, it is just a mess. Absolute mess. Storms everywhere, congealing, clusters. I do believe, though, still that some of these will still have that capability to cause a strong tornado. It's not going to be as cut and dry as like, go here, stupid. This is where you chase, or this is where, like, I think that there could be a strong tornado risk. I mean, it's going to exist pretty much all the way across this line. From parts of Arkansas going up to Memphis, Jackson, Kentucky, and Indiana. But the problem is that we're going to have a lot of mergers happening in this area. Lots of mergers. And so it's going to be hard for these storms to kind of take advantage of the environment. Now, can I imagine a scenario where, for the entire time, there's just nothing? Maybe. I don't think it's completely, I can see it maybe starting off with a bang and then maybe becoming outflow dominant, because the line definitely stalls as it goes over Arkansas a little bit and into Tennessee. You can see it just stops. Does not really progress. The northern portion of it progresses a bit, but I can see like there being a problem with some outflow boundaries out here, but I still think we can get, it's got a tornado warning. A new tornado warning down here on this storm near Chase. Why didn't I hear that? They didn't come through my monitor at all. Yeah, that's going to be for Chase, Lyons, Geneseo, and Galt. Okay, there it is. You guys need to be in your safe spots here. Like I said, they were going to warn this one for sure. Rotation's still in a weird place. But that's kind of how that other storm looks like too. And it produced potentially a large and extremely dangerous tornado. So I think there's just something to do with this radar here. Not really lining up, or could just be the kind of storms. Could just be the fact that we're looking at this from really far away. And it's kind of hard to tell what this storm is doing. But overall, I mean, there appears to be rotation on this, and that's why they've put a warning on it. So if you live in Chase, Lyons, Mitchell, Frederick, Geneseo, and Galt, you need to be in your safe spots. Should I call Tyler and see if he's going to that? I am curious. Oh, wow. Look at that. Did y'all see that bottom side of the cloud? What the heck? Hey, man, what's up? I see you're still out there. So I was just wondering if you were going to turn around and head that tornado warning, or are you just going to continue up to the north? I think you can catch it. It's not really moving that fast, Oops. You guys saw that. That's all right. All right. Sounds good. All right, man. Peace. You guys saw nothing. No, it's just a vape. Just a vape. I try not to smoke it, while live, so you guys can see me. I mean, you probably hear it when I switch to storm chasers, so it's not that big of a secret, but I just don't want the little kids to see it, so I try to hide it. It's not something I'm not like actually ashamed of. I used to smoke ciggies, so, but I've quit technically, and I am slowly lowering my percentage down on my nicotine. But This storm is electric, man. I know. I just don't want, like, because families watch this thing. So I know most people don't care, especially if you're like over 18, you definitely don't care, but I definitely don't want kids seeing that because some people watch with their families. I just thought I was looking at Tyler. That's why that happened. I did not switch the scene. Happens every now and then. Yeah, he said he's turning around. You heard him. They're going to be turning around here shortly. And they're going to try to make it down to this tornado warning, they said. So we'll be keeping an eye on them as they turn around and come back down. But knowing Tyler's luck, this is exactly what's going to happen. He's going to turn around. He's going to get like right here. Tornado warning is going to expire down here as soon as he gets to the storm. And then it will get tornado warned somewhere up here where he just was. It always happens to him. He is one of the most unlucky storm chasers out there, but he's a good storm chaser. Now, lead a scan on this storm. There still is an area of some rotation on this thing, moving north of Chase towards Geneseo and Galt. You think it's safe to sleep for Topeka? I mean, you could sleep. Just set a timer. Again, your storms are going to be coming through potentially at around 5 to 6 a.m. So just set a timer for like 4 a.m. and you should be good. Oh, I ain't worried about it. I ain't ashamed of it. So don't worry about that. All right, Jared. See you later, man. Hope you get some good sleep. Better than me. Got a new severe warning over here now near Hiawatha, Robinson, Everest, and Horton. That's going to be for 70-mile-per-hour winds and 1.25 inch hail. What do I think Manhattan, Kansas will be? It's like up here, isn't it? Yeah. It's going to be surprisingly a while until the storms actually come through to you. You see these storms are like moving away. It kind of just seems like the storms have decided to go backwards. But they're just kind of training over the same spot. You're gonna, honestly, if you go outside right now, you might notice it be a little bit warmer and then just about to be, and then get a little bit cooler because you got an outflow boundary passing over you. It'd be a little bit gusty there, but it's gonna take a while for those storms to actually come through. Salina has been like on the edge of a storm for like about a year now, it seems. Eventually it will get there with those 60-mile-per-hour winds and potential for some 1-inch hail there. What about Madison County for Illinois? That's going to be tomorrow. I can tell you your timing. Let me see where Madison County is. Illinois. That's over like near like the St. Louis area. Your storm's going to be around 3 p.m. So like I'll be ready for storms by around 1 p.m. and they should be completely over by at the latest like 5. Sometime in between that time frame, you're going to be getting potentially a tornado threat. It could exist. These storms aren't outflow dominated. I mean, the winds are going to be there, but again, I just have low confidence on this day. If anybody's going to get, a tornado threat, it'll probably be the people at the beginning, and you are technically at the beginning. So just be weather aware. That's all I gotta say. At around that time, and best case scenario, the storms kind of act like the HRRR, and then they struggle a little bit. Worst case scenario is that even with it struggling, we get just a lot of tornadoes still. Thank you, Astrid. I appreciate that. What about Lonoke, Arkansas? Let me see. Oh, well. All right, let's do this. Where Lonoke is. Lonoke. Shoot, I always screw this one up. There we go. I remembered. Thank you, Bo, for becoming a Windy member. Looks like your storm's gonna be right around the same time. Anywhere from like 2 to 6 p.m. Seem pretty weak as they go through your area, but if these strengthen before, again, you see, it looks really messy, but if you really zoom in, I mean, you can see maybe a couple of supercells here that could try to do something. There isn't like some ridiculous outflow boundary. Also, still probably need to watch over there in northern Mississippi. I mean, but for Lonoke, you're either going to be at the very beginning and just a little bit of rain, or if they form a little bit earlier, it's going to get potentially a little bit more intense. Will the storm push up to northeast Nebraska? No, your threat should be pretty much done. Eventually, this should gust out. You got some storms near you in northeast Nebraska, but they are non-severe right now. Heading through Lyons, Oakland, and West Point. Ping pong ball-sized hail for Henry, Missouri. Watch out. Is Abilene going to get hit again? Yes. Eventually. Might be longer than you would think. Unless these storms start to surge soon, it could be over an hour. Maybe even longer than that. Let's check back in with our warning here. Yeah, I mean, there's still an indication of some rotation here. Right on the leading edge of this storm. But again, this is 2 minutes behind, so this rotation's actually over here compared to the reflectivity. Still in a weird spot, but, to be in your safe spots. We are, unfortunately, looking at this thing from a radar that's really far away. There's one tornado warning right now. Think that warned area will hit Salina again? It looks like this one should go to your south. It's gonna be a pretty close call, actually. If it completely rides on this boundary all the way, could make a pretty close attempt, but hard to tell if it'll still be warned when it gets there. You notice that there was blue on Topeka, Kansas. Can you explain that to me? Yeah, it's just where here? Yeah, what this is just as it's just like a low level. I think it's low level precipitation being caught up or being like clouds being picked up by the radar. You can see them move, and the moisture rises up into the storm, but it's not actually anything. Like if you went outside, it'd probably feel humid, and you would see some clouds, but a lot of it is what is it called? Oh, my brain's getting sleepy. Ground clutter. Like you can see this when there's not a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, but like actually what's happening here is you can actually see some of the clouds in this area, but yeah, a lot of it most of the time is ground clutter. Blue is not hail. That is correct. Not hail's not snow. This is weather-wise. It's a new radar app. It's really nice. Not sponsored, by the way. I just like the program. What about St. Joseph, Missouri? St. Joseph. Where's St. Joseph? Oh yeah. That actually could be soon. Your portion of the storms are pretty much trying to make a pretty close approach to you right now. Yeah, still a radar indicated tornado warning back over here as of our latest update from the NWS. So still no confirmation that this is on the ground yet. Let's check to see where Tyler Kurtz is. Okay, looks like he is south of Salina now. He's south of Salina, moving towards our tornado warned storm. So he should be able to get there shortly. He will definitely be able to intercept this storm. Just don't know if it's still going to be tornado warned or rotating by the time he gets there, but will he be safe in Afghanistan? Probably not. You got a lot more to worry about than storms. You safe in Wichita? Oops, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Let me see. Yeah, Wichita could have one more round of storms eventually. I think that's the current case. I don't really have the models completely dedicated to memory. Yeah, it's either going to be hit or miss. There could be storms that form either right over you or just past you. Be a close call. That'll be around like 4 a.m. So set an alarm for like 3. Wake up, check the news, check your radar, see if you see any red near you. I hope so. And that's the goal. It seems like a lot of our severe thunderstorm warnings expired down here. Nothing crazy. It could be. I mean, if that forms before you, it's going to be pretty intense. But, I mean, just depends on what it does. Again, these storms are going to be unpredictable. I feel all the way until, broad circulation now. No indications of the rotation. They're going to let that one expire probably. Right as Tyler shows up. 100% going to happen. Osage City is going to be on the most likely on the receiving end. So you're over here. A storm that goes through Wichita. Will most likely also go through Osage. Probably around 4 or 5 a.m. There is, a pretty good chance that these storms will be pretty outflow dominant by the time they get to you. But given our sheer environment in the area, which is pretty intense, there's going to be a lot of spin in the atmosphere. So if any of those storms surge past that outflow, even a strong tornado can't be ruled out. But given the fact that it'll most likely be outflow dominated, I would say your chances are probably around like 5%. But I wouldn't let your guard completely down. I would definitely set up an alarm just in case. Yeah, for only $1,000 a day, you can hire Tyler to drive towards your storm. The latest scan, that rotation's gone. He's out of here. Hope it never comes back. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Are these storms over here going to try to do anything? Man, why does it look like they're going to kind of try to? No, there's an outflow boundary there, but I mean, there's actually a little area of rotation south of Haviland near Greensburg, Kansas. Pretty sure Tyler lives in Kansas. I think he lives near like Wichita. Whoa. The heck? I'm sure if my radar program just glitched. It just put a tornado watch like all the way from Texas to Kansas. That's not right. Hold on. Let me try to do a refresh. Okay, let me send that to the developer. Little app glitch. That's like the first app glitch there has ever been on this app. I can tell you right now that is not accurate. Let me try closing the app and bringing it back up. See if it go away. I alerted the dev. If he's still up, he'll fix it. But if he is asleep, I'm not sure. It'll get fixed because it's not getting fixed. He's the only one that can fix it. Give me an outbreak you'd be willing to chase at night? Sheesh. I would never chase a storm at night that has a tornado threat to it. It just scares the crap out of me. I did that once. I was chasing, where was it? Was it Shawnee? No, it was Seminole. Chasing in Seminole. There was an EF2 tornado came through Seminole, Oklahoma, and the first storm like kind of shut the area down. There was a crap ton of traffic. It was not moving at all. It turned nighttime, and then another storm came through with rotation, and I was just kind of trapped on the road, and I was just so scared. The rotation didn't even come close to me, but just the fact that I couldn't see anything, I was like freaking out. I am not like a Reed Timmer type storm chaser. I'm more like a your grandma type storm chaser. Like if your mom was a storm chaser, that's like how I am almost. I get a little bit skittish. I like to keep my distance. You watched the Joplin documentary on Netflix? Yeah, that was super intense. Holy moly. Yeah, we got a weird signal here, but man, does that look contaminated to all get out. We are in a radar hole though, so they could extend that tornado warning. Yeah, it was a really good documentary. It was super intense, man. Definitely made me choke up a couple of times. I mean, there is so much that happened there that I was unaware of. Can you sleep in more Oklahoma tonight? Set an alarm for 2 a.m. Yes, there could be some storms, or yeah, like 2 or 3 a.m. There could be some storms by around 4. Could cause an issue. All right, so in order for our prediction to be right, this tornado warning has to expire, and then a tornado warning will be issued on the northern mode, according to our prediction earlier. Yeah, massive storm anxiety. Yeah, that documentary will freak you out. I can tell you that right now. If you have storm PTSD, probably shouldn't watch that. It is terrifying, and it taps directly in to that nerve in your brain that triggers that kind of stuff for sure. Does a really good job of scaring the crap out of you. And the actual tornado watch was issued for down here, this outline area. Yeah, see, you click down here, it says tornado watch all the way down to the bottom of Texas, but that's not a thing. That did not happen. But the real tornado watch is from like Arkansas City, Oswego. Here, did I show it to you guys already? Here. Few tornadoes likely, widespread hail of up to tennis ball size likely, scattered gusts of up to 80 miles per hour likely. Tornado pass over Overland Park? No. Or which one? This one? Or is there an Overland Park over here? No, this one, as far as we know, we don't have any confirmation that this has been on the ground. I think Overland Park is. Where is Overland Park? I've seen it multiple times. Oh, that's over here near Kansas City. We got a severe thunderstorm warning in Missouri now, heading towards Cole Camp and Syracuse. It's for a 1.25-inch hail. No, Manhattan's still got a while before it comes through. You know, I mean, as of right now, the storms are going away from you, but eventually they'll end up working back towards you, according to our latest models. So, unless this line just completely stalls here, I'll tell you what, it would be pretty crazy if we woke up tomorrow and like this line was still here. Just got notified tornado watch for Wichita, Kansas. Yeah, and that's going to be for these storms. These storms that could eventually make it towards you. They're either going to fire right near you or on top of you. You see, these ones are going up to your north. These ones aren't actually going to make it to Wichita. It's going to be these guys, like all the way down here. If this line continues to unzip, Wichita could get, a chance for some tornadoes. Not the highest chance ever, but it's something to keep an eye on. Yeah, I mean, some more storms are coming to Wichita. Here, we'll go back over the model. It seems like we're all of a sudden getting all the Wichita residents in the building after that new tornado watch was issued. And so here's our latest scans, or not our latest scans, our latest models, convection allowing models. How do they have O3Z? Yeah, the consensus is at around 3 a.m. Either you're going to have just some cool air pass over you and then storms fire to your east, or storms fire before they get there and then go over Wichita as with a large hail threat and some damaging winds. And every single run of the HRRR has been different, though. I'll tell you what.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
It's pretty crazy. It has been changing its mind like crazy. Last run, it said supercells near Oklahoma City. Now it's saying nothing. Tornado warning expired. No, it's still there. Oh, never mind. Wait, nope. It's on Radar Mega and WeatherWise right now. Hey. App has been fixed. All right, now everywhere in like the dark black here, that's the tornado watch. Yeah, this tornado. Wait, are y'all hearing tornado warnings on my system? Heck? Oh, my audio's muted. Just realized that. Yeah. Got a new tornado warning over here near Brookville, Fallen, and Smolin. The Tyler Kurtz, the Tyler curse has been broken. And this right here is just a lot of contamination. No idea what's happening there. Our storm is back in this area. Our contamination is well out in front, but you know, could be some. We'll see. Yeah. Yeah, Brookville, Fallen, and Langley all need to be in their safe spots here. We should get an eye on this storm here shortly. Tyler Kurtz is near Lindsborg. Pretty darn close. It's probably going to come north soon. Oh, I radar, because I can also show you guys. Where Tyler is on this. So, see this little dot over here? That's Tyler. This little dot. So he is very close. We'll get a view of this storm and see what's really happening here. They're driving towards the rotation of this new tornado warning. He just turned north, I think. Until he's somewhere in Lindsborg. Not sure if he's going to turn north now or maybe later. But the tornado warned storm here, bring up the radar, is right here, just to the north of Langley. I'll turn on his audio if you guys want. Oh, make sure we're live. There we go.
So turn right.
Yeah,
here.
Turn right.
Yeah, I think they're about to go north.
Continue for 8 miles.
Oh, I was thinking of the wrong town. My bad.
This, unfortunately, you know, if it continues, it's going to go right, right into Salina.
Left.
So you don't have to go to your safe spots yet in Salina, but if this does continue, the storm is going towards Salina. By the way.
Oh, I think I saw a wall cloud in there.
Oh, report of a wall cloud.
If I can. We got to get out of these trees. Yeah. Got a small glimpse.
There could be a wall cloud in here. Chaser just spotted a wall cloud.
You'll continue on this for 7.5 miles.
Yeah, there's a lowering.
It's just a lowering under a storm.
Yeah, I see it.
Could mean that their tornado is about to fire, or much might not mean much. Yeah, you can see there on the radar. He's right there at Lindborg. Our storm is south and east of Ellsworth, heading towards Brookville and Fallen. Oh, he's pointing it out the window.
You guys on stream will be able to see this. We need more lightning.
Oh,
A little bit of a lowering back there.
and there is a lowering, but let me check that radar again. If there's any rotation to back that up. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit there. It's kind of surging out to meet that rotation too, so that might be legitimate. That might be like an actual rotating wall cloud there.
We'll try our best to kind of like point you guys that way. Not gonna be able to see much until we take that turn that direction.
Hopefully we can get some lightning out of this dang thing, or we're just not gonna be able to see anything. That's his weather radio going off as he's officially entering into the tornado warning. Yeah, I think he's traveling north on this road near Lindsborg on 450. He's probably going to intercept this thing near like Salemsborg. Man, we just need more lightning. The storm should have lightning in it, more than what's showing up here. So I'm wondering if there's... Oh, yeah. There's still definitely lightning back in there.
Oh yeah, big time. Don't worry.
Keep in mind, I got my other camera too. Set it up and
if you're just now tuning in,
exposure.
we have a tornado warning here in Kansas. We got a storm chaser en route. They're near Fallen. Or Lindsborg, sorry, traveling up to the north. We're trying to see back in there. Just using every little lightning strike that we can see to try to see if we see anything. Earlier, we just saw a lowering, and there is some rotation developing on the leading edge of the storm. So, if you live in Brookville and Fallen, I'd be in your safe spots. And nighttime chasing is so scary, man. Hey, see, there's his little blue dot there. He's a little bit further north than that, though, because his blue dot takes a while to, like, catch up to him. Yeah, if we come back over to our radar here, you see right here, there's your storm. That's tornado warned. And here's that area of rotation right there on the leading edge.
Some trees in our way.
Again, Brookville and Fawn need to be in their safe spots. Still radar indicated. Just got an update here. No confirmation yet that this is on the ground. New tornado warning polygon takes out like parts of Yankee Run and Canopolis Recreation Area. I'll bring this to the big screen so you guys can see it. Right there, Brookville and Fallen. Radar indicated rotation. This is not confirmed to be on the ground yet, but that's why we got a storm chaser on this storm to help us try to determine that. Again, our radar is not really helpful here. We're really far away from the tower, so what Tyler sees here is going to be pretty crucial in determining whether there's anything happening here near the surface. Yes, this storm is going to make its way into Salina. You guys are not in a tornado warning yet. See, there's Salina over there.
Head west on West Roseville Road towards Smoky View Road.
This off and see what we can see. Okay.
The storm is moving at 60 miles per hour.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
That thing is hauling.
No,
oh, what was that?
Yeah, we'll get overrun if we go to Fallen. We get ahead back to 35.
There's definitely something hanging down back there. It's like on the left side of the road. Yeah, is that a wall cloud back there?
What
are they doing? turning around? Oh, they might have gone on a road, like just to stop.
60 miles per hour.
Looks like they were repositioning here. Yeah, they went off on a dirt road for a second. They're about to head back north. But again, this is the storm we're talking about here. This is the one near Brookville. There's Salina. As you can see, Salina is not in the tornado warning. You guys do not need to be in your safe spots yet. But if this thing is still showing rotation, by the time it gets to Salina, there's a good chance that it will be warned into Salina. So although you don't have to go into your safe spots yet, I would certainly be getting ready to, just in case. Yeah, we got a storm chaser on the storm, and I'm pretty sure we just saw a wall cloud there. And there's a little bit of rotation on the leading edge of this, but again, it's weird looking. I will say that. Definitely looks like we got some contamination in there. It's just kind of hard to tell what's happening here with the storm. This is why we're keeping a close eye on our storm chasers feed here, just so we can get that information of what's happening, like actually near the surface on this thing. Okay, getting some lightning. They're pretty much going to head all the way up to 140 on this storm. Okay, Brookville, the part of the storm is coming into you right now. Continue to be in your safe spots.
Head north on South Burma Road toward West Coast and Road Road. Continue on South Burma Road for 2 miles.
Certainly looks scuddy right there.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's not a wall cloud, I don't think there. Little scuddy lowering there.
The lowering doesn't look like as impressive.
No, not nearly as much.
Yeah, I think this storm is definitely going to bring a damaging wind threat into Salina. Maybe a little bit more than 60 miles per hour. This thing is kind of bowing out as it approaches. Switch over to our radar. You can see it's starting to bow out, which could indicate that we're going to be getting some stronger winds on the leading edge of this thing, as well as that tornado threat there for Salina. So hopefully this rotation is gone by the time it gets there, and you guys don't have to worry about it. But there is definitely still a signature here, potentially on the leading edge of this storm. So they might extend this into Salina, so just be ready. It's not there yet, but they might extend it. There's definitely a possibility.
In half a mile, turn right onto West Hedberg Road.
That is definitely the plan.
There's like so much contamination and velocity.
Turn right onto West Hedberg Road.
Trying to see if I see anything. Like, the lightning bolts are coming in, but they're not super bright.
Here we go.
Well, they're getting on a dirt
Continue on
road.
West Hedberg Road for 4 miles.
This somehow looks dry.
Yeah, no kidding.
Boy.
Why is this gotta be 60 mile per hour storm motion?
Yeah, it sucks. Oh, dear. Somebody already.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What the? Did y'all see that? Deer. Hold on. I switched at the wrong moment. Deer just like ran right in front of him. Look at that. I think it was more than one. Hold on. And there's one. 2 deer. Wow. Jeez Louise. Luckily, they saw that before they crossed the road there. That was a pretty close call. All right, latest scan coming out of our storm here. Still a really messy picture on this storm. Still pretty contaminated here along a leading edge, but the reason why this is warned is just in case one of those little areas of contamination contains some rotation to it. We did see a wall cloud on the storm earlier associated with some of that rotation, so that might be indication that some of that rotation is legitimate, but again, we're in a radar hole here. It's not really helpful. So fortunately, because of the lack of radars in this area, we're kind of left in the dark on what this storm is doing. Hopefully we can get a couple of lightning strikes that can illuminate what is happening out here.
Sure wish I had my light bar for my trailblazer.
4 suspicion 0.
Like the scanner radio in the Salina area is starting to pick up again.
Transfer 7146. Adam Henderson. In your park on a Pacifica.
Outrunning 60 mile per hour storm motion on dirt road. Not on my list of things to do today, but here we are.
Kingman, I wouldn't really be necessarily worried about the storm, but I would definitely be keeping track of that crash.
28 returns negative on 2013 silver. Yeah, 500. West of Mellis.
Oh,
On
the
a
traffic
Friday,
cams in the
November
path again. That's
25.
true.
Okay.
We're gonna mute that unless we need it. Yeah, let's go get one of these traffic cams there's literally a traffic cam in the path of this thing yet again. The second time today.
Kansas dirt road drives better.
Oh wow, you can actually see the storm back there.
Yeah, that's not very difficult to do.
Oh my gosh, this lightning is crazy. Yeah, something's obscuring their view of all this lightning. I mean, the lightning's going it's going nuts on this storm. I think they're just behind on the storm, and this is like actually looking at the front portion of the storm. You can see it back in there, yeah. Just over the road.
I just wonder if it's like becoming a little bit outflow dominant.
There is the base of the storm.
That's messy, that's for sure.
A new
there it
PDS
is.
severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
PDS severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for 80-mile-per-hour winds. 80-mile-per-hour winds for Salina. You want to be in your safe spots for that. That will definitely knock down some trees.
You got the regular charger, right?
And definitely be a problem for power outages, mobile homes. Very strong winds are coming with this storm. 80-mile-per-hour winds is nothing to mess around with. That is a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. And again, if you live in Salina, you need to be in your safe spots.
Hey, you're gushy.
Always am.
Yeah, I think the storm outran them. They are not going to intercept this storm. This is our only view again of what's to come. Well, I guess we're about to find out if there's some real 80-mile-per-hour winds in this thing. My goodness, just nonstop lightning. But again, if you guys are just tuning in and you're in Salina, we got a storm coming with 80-mile-per-hour winds on it. As you can see, it's bowing out quite a bit, and that's about to push into the Salina area. If you live in Salina, you need to be in your safe spots again, especially if you live near any trees. Because if you live near any trees, that's going to be a big issue. These 80-mile-per-hour winds can definitely knock those trees down, and definitely those trees could potentially fall onto your house. That's why you want to be in your safe spot. Your safe spot is the lowest, most interior portion of your house, as many walls in between you and the outside as humanly possible, a tornado shelter, or a basement that is underground. Okay, I think Tyler's going to the main highway, so they might intercept this thing like as it's hitting Salina. I see their location update. They're trying to make it back to 135. So if they can get on that road and then make it up north fast enough to intercept this before it goes into Salina, we'll go back to him. But my brain is telling me, doing some rough calculations, that he's going to miss it, and this might be our only view of these winds. They haven't extended the tornado warning yet, but this is still definitely a storm that you want to be in your safe spots here for Salina. Again, 80-mile-per-hour winds is nothing to joke with. And in fact, weak tornadoes cause 80-mile-per-hour winds. So it's going to be like a weak tornado is about to come through the entire area of Salina. Live by like 7 trees? Well, if you live by 7 trees and you live in Salina, Kansas, you want to be in your safe spots. This storm also just has like just absolutely nonstop lightning. It's quite impressive, actually. Let me draw where our camera is. So there's Salina there, and our camera is located right here. Bill sent me a camera a little while ago. I want to keep an eye on that. All right, the storm is pretty much on your guys' doorsteps here. It's just about to move through Salina. So get ready. Here it comes. Wow. Just a crazy amount of lightning. Okay, camera is starting to shake. In Salina, well, if you're in Salina, you need to be in your safe spots. Again, this storm is warned for 80-mile-per-hour winds. It's no joke. That is stronger than a Category 1, or about the same strength as a Category 1 hurricane, but in a small storm. Going live later, yeah. That's the plan. Make sure we keep refreshing this. All right, the leading edge of this, according to this radar, is coming into Salina right now. It could be a little bit off, just given the fact that we are far away from the radar. Camera's there on the blue dot. Do we have any closer radars to this? This one might be a little bit closer. Yeah. Yeah, not quite in Salina just yet, but it's probably just now pushing in right now. By the way, if you're in Salina, tell me what you're experiencing. What are you guys experiencing out there? Do you hear the wind yet? Is it there? And on that blue dot here on the map on the bottom left, that's where our camera is located, right there. Wind is here. Okay, so the wind, we're getting reports that the wind is moving into Salina right now. You're in Walmart? Well, stay away from the windows. You hear the wind? Someone's saying it's not 80 miles per hour. Well, the storm's technically not there yet, but It's hard in the eyes. Yeah, keep those reports coming in. We're definitely interested to hear what you guys are saying. It's going to be helpful for everybody. I want to know what you're hearing, not what you're seeing. If you're seeing something, you're not in your safe spots. And you should be in your safe spots. I just want to know what it sounds like. Okay, you can see the wall of rain approaching. We have another camera after this that we can keep an eye on this storm to confirm these winds. Camera's not shaking much yet. Rain hasn't really arrived. How long will I be streaming? I don't know. It just depends on what these storms do, man. I would like to get some sleep, but I mean, if something dangerous happens while I'm still alive, we're going to have to continue to be live. And that keeps on happening. Refresh. Oh, wind is picking up. You can see it moving across the road there while those cars drove by. Let me see what let me see if I can figure out where. Yeah, it looks like Tyler is just on the southern edge of this. Let's go back to Tyler's view.
Turn left to stay on Kansas 104 West.
On the southern edge of that
Turn left onto the I-135
that storm. Back to here. Camera go down. It's still going. Our crash just happened here. It just crashed. On here. Starting to hail majorly on the house now in Salina. Okay. Getting reports that there is a decent amount of hail in the storm. Should be only an inch in size, but could be some isolated hailstones bigger than that. And that's hail moving at potentially 80 miles per hour. How's the wind? Semi-flipped? Oh, wow. Let me get another camera. We'll get out in front of this thing. Where did the semi-flip at? It's like 40, 50 miles an hour? Really? Oh, that's not that bad. Someone in Salina is reporting 40 to 50. Is anybody seeing anything worse than that? Y'all still have power? If you still have power, then that could be an indication that also the winds are not as strong as the warning is saying. What EF is it? It's not an EF. This is a severe thunderstorm warned for. Okay, they dropped it down to 70 miles per hour just now. All right, everybody can come out of their safe spots. They'll stay inside though, but they did just update this to 70 miles per hour, which aligns with what some of y'all's reports were saying. Anybody else experiencing anything else there in Salina? Let me know what you saw. Another camera out in front of the storm. Storm's gonna be there any moment. We actually got a light here so we can actually see the wind on this one. This one is right past New Cambria. By the way, New Cambria is next in line for the 70 mile per hour winds now. You don't necessarily need to be in your safe spots. I mean, 70 mile per hour winds can do damage to a mobile home, but you know, there is no safe spots in a mobile home. So you're riding out in a mobile home, you're taking a kind of a big risk. I'll pretty much stop for now. Okay. Well, 70 miles per hour can do damage. You just don't need to be in your safe spots for it. You need to be seeking cover. You'd be inside, away from windows, but you don't need to be in your safe spots. Ping pong ball sized hail reported in the Salina storm. So they did upgrade this warning to ping pong ball sized hail now. It is heading towards New Cambria next, and then 70. Nobody needs to leave Salina. Whoever said that is lying to you. We got a severe thunderstorm warning on this storm now, near Sylvia and Abbeville. This one will go north of Wichita. Going to be for 60 mile per hour winds, 1 inch hail. We got another one heading towards Westmoreland. That's warned for 60 mile per hour winds, and this one is going near St. Joseph, near Savannah, here in Missouri. Bernard and Stranberry need to be indoors away from windows. That's 60 mile per hour winds and 1 inch hail with that. I think Tyler Kurtz is going to turn around and go south for these storms down here near Wichita. I just realized Tyler was over here. He drove all the way down to the south towards Lindsborg just to come back up to the north and missed the storm as it went through Salina. I think the Tyler bad luck still continues. Any insight towards Hutchinson's or Kansas? You guys are in a severe thunderstorm warning for 1 inch hail, 60 mile per hour winds. It's going to be there in a little bit. Yeah, more of the threat is in the south. It never really quite made it into Iowa yet. There is some rain and thunder in Iowa, but most of our storms right now are in Kansas or Missouri. What's really happening down here with that southern storm threat there into Oklahoma. Tornado watch? Yeah, you're under a tornado watch. It is possible this storm could try to produce a tornado. Let's go check out the environment, though. We haven't looked at the environment in a while. Yeah, a lot of our storms up here, like in northeastern Kansas, These storms right now are kind of running out of instability. Wind shear around these storms are pretty extreme. It's 60 to 50 knots. I mean, that's a lot of wind shear. The good news is that all these storms are pretty much outflow dominant. So basically, what the wind shear is doing for the storms, which is kind of what we just saw, is that anywhere you have a lot of strong convection, that is going to be working those lower level winds down to the surface, right? So stronger winds could be possible with these storms as they push off to the east. Damaging wind threats probably increasing a little bit here. And if we get any, isolated supercells in this area, which seems kind of unlikely given the amount of capping that we have, then they could pose a significant tornado threat. It's still not technically impossible to get that, given the fact that we just had a potentially strong tornado over there near Salina earlier. I think Hutchinson will see a tornado. It's hard to tell. It just depends on what this storm does. There's actually a little bit of rotation developing over here near Sylvia. Not sure. It kind of looks contaminated to me, but they've been warning every contaminated radar scan here in Kansas. So it's very possible that storm could get a tornado warning if that looks a little bit worse. It's a line. Do we got a weirdo in chat? The mods might be asleep. Yeah, I'll get rid of them. Yeah, I think my mods went to bed. I don't see any mod messages. Uh-oh. Yeah, I banned them. Yeah, local news usually doesn't cover severe thunderstorms. News is like in a regular news area, like a weatherman is like a filler. Yeah, no problem. Glad the winds didn't seem to be as bad as what I was warned for. They now downgraded this to 60-mile-per-hour winds on the latest one. So they downgraded that pretty quickly. That's good news. Live camera. Yeah. So this is Tyler Kurtz. He's making his way down to the south, presumably to intercept this storm that's going towards Hutchinson. Scott City, Kansas. Let me see where that is. Scott City, Kansas. Yeah, Scott City's fine. You guys will be good until the next one, so you can get some sleep. But yeah, as I was saying, meteorologists in a regular news, a news channel, their main focus is news. Weather is like weathermen get 2 minutes per hour to do a quick forecast, and they get paid like crap. They usually don't put them on until there's something that's really dangerous. Yeah, Salina's safe to exit out of their shelters. Yeah, you guys are good to go. Worst of the wind is past. Hopefully it wasn't bad for everybody. Did they actually get hit? They got hit by 80-mile-per-hour winds, potentially. I don't know if we actually recorded that there, but that's what the warning was for.
A new tornado warning.
What
has
did
been
I say?
issued.
And we're going to warn one of these little contaminated things. And there it is. That could be legitimate, though. I mean, it's kind of embedded in some circulation there. Kind of hard to tell, though. Again, the good news is, as this moves on to the east, we will be getting a better and better picture of this storm as we get closer to the radar. But if you live in Arlington, Langdon, Partridge here in Kansas, you need to be in your safe spots. We got a new tornado warning. Rotation is near Torrin. Again, it's very contaminated look to the storm. So is there legitimate rotation there? Is there not? It's really hard to tell. That's been kind of the theme with these storms all day, super contaminated. But, one of those contaminated storms did produce a large tornado earlier. So that can happen again. So I just want everybody out there near Arlington, Langdon, and Partridge to, just be in your safe spots here as the storm comes through. Just got home from work. Jeez Louise. You work late. Hate tracking these supercells. Yeah, it's hard to get a good read on them, unfortunately. Salina, you guys got another line of storms coming through right now, but it's not going to be nearly as bad as that first wave. And then after this, it seems like these storms are going to move on. And maybe this guy might try to make it back up into the Salina area with some more maybe potential damaging winds. Kind of hard to tell. There's another cam in the path, like a traffic cam. Oh, yeah. Just past Partridge. There is a cam nearby. It'll be a while before the storm actually gets there, but we'll come look at it when the time comes. Okay, no problem, Alex. Thank you for the 5. I do appreciate that. See if we have our latest scan here. Still waiting on that latest scan to come in and there's the latest reflectivity scan. Looks like that main area is past Turon now. Yeah, Turon can technically come out of their safe spots, but one thing to note is that there could be some 1-inch hail in there, so you definitely don't want to go outside. But you can come out of your safe spots there in Turon, and Arlington still needs to be in their safe spots. Wichita is to the south and east of this storm, but one of the potentials here is that we do get a storm fire a little bit further to the south, and then that tries to make it into the Wichita area. But right now, there is no storm on radar that looks like it's going to track into the Wichita area, as far as we can tell. But that could change. This line of storms has kind of been unzipping to the south, and if it continues, that's going to be a threat for the Wichita area. Check Springfield. Thank you, Fee, for the 10. Appreciate that. Yeah, no problem, Fee. Yeah, Springfield looks like your threat's going to be coming through like 11. Kansas City will probably be pretty late. Again, this line of storms is stalling right now. Going to need to see it actually surge to the east a little bit for it to actually go into Kansas City. So it'll be probably early morning tomorrow. All right, let's see if we got the latest velocities. Yeah, latest velocity still indicating some rotation right here. No debris ball just yet, but Arlington still needs to be in their safe spots. All right, Steffi, thanks for tuning in. Ain't jazzy, I know. It's been a long day. It's been long. Almost on 8 hours of coverage. St. Louis. Let's see. The latest models are saying for St. Louis. Looks like sometime around like 1 and 2 p.m. tomorrow. Wow. A little tight couplet there near Langdon. That could be pretty close to producing there. So again, if you live in Arlington, I would certainly be taking this storm seriously. So convective outlook, a new one. Yeah, that should be coming out soon. We got a new one for tomorrow. McPherson, looks like you're going to get an outflow boundary soon. And in fact, our storm chaser here is very close to McPherson. And yeah, it should just mainly be some light rain to like heavy rain with some lightning. It'll be on and off. But after that outflow boundary passes you, which will be probably in the next 2 to 5 minutes, it's going to have like light rain in it. It's going to cool down the temperatures. Your tornado threat's going to go to 0 really fast. Wichita in the clear, trying to go to sleep. Hey, I get you, brother. I get you. But I was, you can get like an hour or 2 of sleep. I would set an alarm just in case. Because again, if these storms fire before you, they could carry a potentially dangerous tornado threat with it. Just depends. They'll either fire like right next to Wichita or just after Wichita. So unfortunately I can't really tell you that you can go to sleep right now. It's kind of a conditional area. Any risk of hail damage in the KC Metro? Yeah, actually, there's a little bit of hail, or there's some decent hail in some of these storms, and every now and then they can still produce up to ping pong ball sized hail. If that's going to actually happen over the Kansas City area, it's kind of hard to tell. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning up here near Stanberry, King City, Grant City, Bethany, Ridgeway, and Eagleville here in Missouri. That's going to be for 70-mile-per-hour winds. Okay, we got our latest scan. The latest scan, still an area of rotation here, and another one forming now near Abbeville. This one actually concerns me a decent amount if that is located within our reflectivity still. That one there is also pretty close to producing. Iowa for now is pretty good. I mean, there's like some like rain and thunder near you, but in Creston, but that's about it. I mean, you're probably not going to see any severe weather. Should go just past you. Salina done. You should be close to being done. I mean, you're done with the tornado threat, but there are some storms behind the outflow boundary that are come through still with some lightning and some heavier bouts of rain. But I think after this one, you might be done. Your tornado threat's at 0 now. Abbeville storm will hit that cam. Yeah. Yeah, we'll be keeping a close eye on. We got a cam out in front of this thing here. Make sure it's functioning. See what happens. Not the best cam, but if there's a tornado, we'll see it. This is just inside the warning, I believe. Yeah, it's just on the edge of the polygon. And I think we have yeah, that's near like South Hutchins. And is really our only cam in the area. And then we got a storm chaser that is trying to make it down to the storm right now. We got Tyler Kurtz, who's pulling the late night shift. He is heading down towards Hutchinson right now. He's in McPherson, and he'll be trying to get down there as soon as possible. Yeah, it's like round 4 in Salina. You guys have had it pretty rough today. Potentially a tornado, strong winds, some hail. You guys have gone through it today. Because half the time I am daily. Thank you, Riley, for the 5. I do appreciate that. What does the next few hours look like for Douglas, Kansas, southeast of Wichita? Where's Douglas? He said southeast. Yeah, I mean, for you, I would say there's a little bit of a higher likelihood that these storms actually form on top of you. Wichita is a little bit more conditional, but I would say it's a little bit more of a higher threat there for you. That happening. So I would certainly be aware in the moment or in the morning, couple of hours. That's how it works, Lyra. And thank you, Vivo, for the 5. I mean, I'd be awake. I mean, as you can see, if a storm fires here before Wichita, which is in the realms of possibilities, they do have the ability to spin and cause tornadoes or tornado warnings at the very least. All right, latest scan here, not really seeing too much rotation. Still a little bit there south of Arlington, but it's not as concerning as it was. Let me look at that. Let me look that up for you, Kale. Maryville. Where's Mary? Didn't I already answer for Maryville? Is that right? Maybe not. Oh wait, no, we were covering storms in your area. For Maryville, I think the worst might be past you. Definitely another round of thunderstorms is possible, though. Can't completely rule out another severe thunderstorm warning with that one, and that could be in about an hour. Our chat just crashed. Let me fix that. Tell y'all what, this computer, it is a miracle that it still works, man. It is barely holding on. I'm trying to hold out until about April 21st to have to get a new one, or at least get it taken to like a computer specialist to see if they can fix it. Man, it is still surprising. Any sized hail for Atchison, Donovan, Clinton, Buchanan, Davies, and Andrew, DeKalb, in Missouri and Kansas. Some 60-mile-per-hour winds. Outbreak today? It's certainly possible. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that if the storms look like this tomorrow, it's going to be pretty similar. I mean, the wind shear. This is just a great example of how tomorrow could go wrong or could go right, technically, for you guys. As you can see, tons of instability, capped out. Probably won't be as capped tomorrow, so it'll probably be a little bit more free flowing in terms of the tornado risk. But big storm clusters definitely lower the tornado chance to being as widespread. If you have a bunch of discrete cells, then we're still going to have issues. But I mean, our lower level shear is about as strong as it's going to be tomorrow. About 60 knots right now near some of these storms. So, I mean, just kind of goes to show that even if you have a strong wind shear environment, storms can still struggle. It's not like we've been having rapid fire tornado warnings today, but not rapid fire tornadoes, right? So we've only had a couple of tornadoes actually confirmed tonight, including that last one we just covered. But in terms of tomorrow, I mean, this could be how it plays out. But it will probably be a tad bit more dangerous. It just really depends on what the storm mode is. And a lot of models are indicating a storm mode kind of similar to this, but I would assume it'd be a little bit less outflow dominant. Latest velocity scans. Really seeing anything that sticks out to me. Be a little bit of a couplet still in this area here, just in the north and west of Prairieton, or Pretty Prairie, but kind of hard to tell. It looks a little bit contaminated there, but I would still be in your safe spots until this tornado warning is done. Day one went high. Way. That tornado driven? Wow, it did go high. Yeah, today we got a high risk in the Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Southern Illinois. Let's see what the reaction is. Classic WX Twitter. My goodness. Like, this is the thing, like, people like they're like saying like my goat, as in like, oh wow, that's so cool that you did that. Like, that's not a good thing. But yeah. High risk has been issued. I don't know how I feel about that. Why did it get high? Honestly, it's a pretty darn conditional risk tomorrow. Kind of interesting. Yeah, it was a tornado driven. It's pretty conditional. So, I don't know. I don't think I necessarily agree with that, to be honest. But it is what it is. I mean, if you live in that area, just watch out. It's conditional, but if it does do something, it's going to be bad. No, it's not wind risk. It's tornado driven. They usually don't issue a high risk unless they have high confidence, and there really isn't high confidence in tomorrow's threat. So it's pretty interesting. It's high confidence that there will be like a lot of wind shear. Storm mode is in question, but if you can get a couple of storms become discrete, I mean, that high risk will verify very easily. So definitely want to be super weather aware tomorrow. That's regardless of whether or not the storm mode is good or bad, there'll be a lot of shear. Even if storms are more clustered like this, there's going to be a higher chance for stronger tornadoes, even in a line of storms. So It definitely could be a lot of tornadoes tomorrow. So yeah, definitely something that you want to keep a close eye on for sure. Yeah, new tornado warning is still radar indicated. Our latest scans indicate that this storm is outflow dominant here, but we do have an area trying to latch onto that outflow dominant part. A little bit of rotation on the south, now kind of meandering out of the tornado warning, kind of close to pretty prairie. Yeah, I think I'm going to get off after this tornado warning. I got to rest up for tomorrow. Got to rest up for tomorrow. That is... Still have some questions in mind about tomorrow. It makes me say it's conditional. It's just the models. I mean, there is the storm mode is kind of garbage, but there is some chances. Even like the wind shear is just going to be so extreme tomorrow. But yeah, like if we can get these supercells out in front, right up in this area, that's where they put that high risk too. Actually, it's a little bit north of that, but any of these storms, they're going to be really clustered. So any merger, there's going to cause some issues for these storms. And you can see there's a lot of storm coverage in this area, but you get any one of these that can latch on and mature and not have a merger at the wrong time and at the wrong moment, you can get a high-end tornado, potentially violent, long track. It's all about timing where the storms are. That's like pretty much the main failure mode tomorrow. But you can see like after that, it just kind of clusters really quickly. If this happens early, before the storms can mature, we're definitely still going to have the potential for strong tornadoes, but it won't be like a violent tornado risk. It'll be more like a conditional strong tornado risk. That is the conditional part of it. Is that the storm mode is kind of crap, but these storms right here out in front, if they can mature before that line comes through, it's definitely going to be a very dangerous day out there for folks near Memphis and Jackson. But again, it's conditional. But you need, regardless, the bottom line is it's like today, right? When there is a conditional risk, you just got to watch out. You got to watch the weather. You got to watch the radar. You got to watch someone that's watching radar. You just got to pay attention. If the worst case scenario does happen, then you're prepared. If it doesn't, then you can take a deep breath. That's just kind of how tomorrow's going to be too. But it's going to be a little bit different given the fact that we're going to have a lot more shear, decent amount of instability. Even if these storms do cluster up, we're still going to see multiple tornadoes tomorrow, most likely. But it like a high risk usually means like very high end, and in my mind, personally, it's a little bit too conditional for that. But the SPC disagrees with me, and that happens all the time. All right, tornado warning has expired down here, even though it's still showing up on this app. It has officially expired. Everybody can come out of their safe spots. Oh, you can't see my screen? Sorry. Well, you guys get it. You guys get what I'm trying to say. It's just frick. All right, we'll go over it again. We'll go over it again before I get off. So yeah, these cells out in front, they are the dangerous ones out in this area. Again, if I switch over here to our lower level shear, pretty decent shear when those storms are getting started there. As they kind of upscale, the high risk is up here, which is interesting. So I guess that's mainly for these cells. Semi-discrete cells up there could definitely still be strong. Tornadoes, again, lots of storms all around each other, right? A lot of storms fighting for limited kinematics. So there's going to be competition, and when there's competition between storms, they can sometimes underperform. And that's one of the main conditional factors. And what's causing that is kind of a lack of forcing out in this area, at least according to the HRRR, out in front of this where this line is. Now, there's lots of forcing where these storms are firing, which is why we're seeing a whole lot of storms in that area. But there's not really that much out in front of this line, meaning that we don't have a whole lot of discrete cells out in kind of the warm sector. There are some out there, so definitely got to watch out for this potential. There's going to be a lot of competition around these storms, and so some of them might fail to produce. So it's not going to be like a scenario where every single one of these storms are going to produce, you know, a long track violent tornado or a intense tornado. But the chance is certainly there. Where will this line stall? Well, if we keep pushing this forward, you know, over the Nashville, like just west of Nashville, a lot of little supercells out there. The next day, this is Thursday. Decent little shear environment down there. There could be another strong tornado risk over here near Little Rock and Pine Bluff. Look at all that rain. Yeah. Also, watch out for the flooding. You know, if you live anywhere in this area, you know, significant flooding is going to be possible pretty much from today. And the crazy thing about this line of storms, probably the craziest thing is that, you know, in my opinion, is, I mean, it just doesn't move. You see how they just keep getting storms? They get this round, another round, and another round. Every single one of those rounds is going to bring a significant, potentially catastrophic flooding risk. Yeah, we're just talking about it. It's very clustered, which is why it's conditional in my mind. I think a moderate risk would have done it just fine, but it, you know, it really doesn't matter what I think. You know, the bottom line is that the potential is there. You should be weather aware, and you should be preparing tonight. This morning, preparing, going overnight into this area. That's the bottom line. Just prepare. If it falls apart, that's good. If it's as strong and as bad as the worst case scenario, then you know you also know that you're prepared. But all right, guys, I gotta head out tonight. Get some rest for tomorrow. I'll be live as early as possible. But I will say, in my opinion, I do not agree with that high risk. But you know, if the worst case scenario does happen, yes, it will act like a high risk. That's kind of my thoughts right now. But regardless, everybody have a good rest of your night. I will see you tomorrow. Be prepared, and I will see you as early as I can get to it. I might just get like 6 hours of sleep and then be up like around 7, something like that, or 8. But all right, see you guys later. Peace.